Oh, welcome, everybody to the Maj 2 ratio. Y'all know the routine. Welcome. I missed y'all, man. I missed y'all 1,000%. It's Monday, March the 16th, 2026. Appreciate you all. We made it through the Ides of March. If you don't know what the Ides of March is, you should they didn't do a good job in school. But hey, that's to be expected, right? If you went to a public school in America. Unfortunately, at this point, we made it through the Ides of March. We this close to spring. Y'all know the routine. Come in, comment, let me know where you're watching from, what platform, what city. I want to hear from y'all in that comment section. If you're watching on x.com/Maj2Ray999, do two things for me. Repost the show, obviously. And number two, I want you all to subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Maj2Ray. Jump over. If you're watching on X, make sure you jump on in. Come on over on the YouTube channel. Subscribe, man. We're in a road to 100,000. The goal is 100,000 this year. I think we at 38,000, something like that. But we appreciate everybody for tapping. And guys, Tucker Carlson, they trying to frame me. Now, I want to be very clear. I used to didn't like Tucker Carlson, all right? Some of his mannerisms, some of his statements, some of the stuff that he kind of like got behind. And this is always the case for a lot of people that have been polarizing figures, or if you stay around long enough. You stay around long enough to get hate, or people going to dislike you. It's just what it is. It's a part of this particular thing that we call the internet and media and journalism and life. Some people just not gonna like you. And Tucker Carlson, his personality at certain points, I'm like, yeah. However, I'm a solutionary and I'm objective as hell. I'm at least objective enough to be honest about when somebody's right and when somebody's wrong. And tonight we're going to go over a few things that, and it seems like all of the shows lately have been about the fucking Iran situation and all of that, because a lot of us were sold a false bill of goods. But tonight's show is going to touch a little bit on that, but also a bigger conversation around this is going to be what media does in conjunction with government when they just want to lie, when they just want the American public to just be down with stupid shit, you know? And most of you, if you're a solutionary, you're not going to be down with stupid shit. You're going to question a certain narrative. And if you've been alive and an adult, especially over the since 2020 at least, I'm going to give everybody 2020 was the moment. I'm going to give that to everybody. 2020 was the moment where, up until that point, and seeing how government was absolutely like on in 1,000% conspiring with the so-called media. 2020, if you didn't think that was the case, the year 2020 through 2022 cleared that shit real quick. And if after that you still some of too much and obedience for government in conjunction with the media, that shit is out the window for me. In the year 2020, if you believed, 2019, if you would have told me, or if you would have told most people, hey, government is working in conjunction with media to convince you to do a bunch of shit, and they'll attack you for things. If you have a big platform, if you got a lot of people that follow you, you rich, or you famous, or you whatever, if they haven't already co-opted you, media will 1,000% co-opt you. If you would have told people that in 2018, 2019, I even think that's still late, but I'll give everybody room for all the way up until December. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you all the way up until March of the year 2020. Anything else after that, everything was off the table, because if you would have told me in March, well, not me. I've been on the game. But I get it. It would have been a hard sell to tell somebody, hey, we're going to present a world so-called global pandemic that's really the flu. We're going to force people to stay in their house. We're going to lie to them. We're going to have everybody walking around like Michael Jackson used to do back in the fucking day with a mask on their grill. We're going to close an entire global economy for a flu. in conjunction with convincing people to rig an election. Yes, I believe that fucking election was rigged. I was in Philadelphia at the Postal Service when the Postmaster General came to Philadelphia to check on things going into the year 2020. I remember that. And I was like, this is absolutely cap. But nonetheless, if I would have gave you some room, because it was so crazy that if you wasn't really generally in the information space and you wasn't listening to Alex Jones back when Alex was really on that shit, when Alex Jones wasn't compromised, because I've done Alex's show and I think he fucking compromised now. I do. I think he's compromised. So, what's up, Terry? Wild Self, what's up? So if you would have told me these things, or somebody would have been giving you pushback after you told them these things at that time, I would have agreed with you. But after 2020, and after, if you know anything about Julian Assange, shouts to Julian Assange, who's home now and quiet and out the fucking way. If you would have not known about Edward Snowden, but if you did, you would have questioned everything. And this is par for the course for what government does, especially when one of their assets, or what they think is their assets, gets off the fucking reservation. And we're going to play this video by Tucker Carlson. The guys, y'all know the routine. Big Rob, what's up? Vegas, what's up? Wild Self, what's up? Terry, what's up? Y'all know the routine. Tap in. Let me know what city y'all popping in from. See, these folks is solutionaries. I already know where they from. You know what I mean? I want to hear where everybody's from. Make sure y'all share the space all over the place. And guys, if you get some value from the show tonight, I'm going to keep asking everybody. We this close, man. We are this close. Y'all see that? That's our Give, Send, Go page. Support the actual work. We talk about these things on the show. Tonight, I'm going to give you a nice package together, pause, of all of the information that Tucker Carlson is talking about and why the CIA is currently trying to frame and assassinate the character and all of the other shit of Tucker Carlson right now. They're calling him Tucker Carlson and all of this other shit. But we're going to talk about all of this tonight, and these are good things for you to keep your head mentally on the swivel. But our primary work is our actual community work, our real life. So, guys, you see the goal. You see the goal here, and you see how close we are. So I'm going to ask everybody to support over at givesendgo.com/solutionary tonight throughout the show. If you was going to do a super chat, don't do a super chat. Put it over there at givesendgo.com/solutionary. You're helping me a lot. You're helping me out a lot too, because damn, y'all, fundraising is the bane of my existence right now. I love every bit of support that we getting from y'all, but I want to make sure that we fully flexing on content creation, doing classes, and all of those other different things. So tonight, givesendgo.com/solutionary. Make sure y'all support the work. Anyway, guys, let's get back to this real quick. Here is Tucker Carlson, and as you guys can see, it says, when you discover the CIA has been reading your texts in order to frame you for a crime. Let's hit the play button. I want to hear from y'all all in the chat. Share the space all over the place. Donatego.com/solutionary. Let's see what Tucker talking about and if we agree.
The other day, I found out that the CIA is preparing some kind of criminal referral against me, a crime report, to the Department of Justice on the basis of a supposed crime I committed. What's that crime? Well, talking to people in Iran before the war. They read my texts. So the crime under consideration apparently would be the Foreign Agent Act or something like that, acting as an agent of a foreign power. And I don't expect this to go anywhere. I'm not too worried about an actual criminal case against me for a bunch of reasons. One, I'm not an agent of a foreign power. Unlike a lot of people commenting on U.S. politics and global affairs, I have only one loyalty, and that's the United States, and have never acted against it. Its interests are the only interests I care about because I'm from here and I have a lot of kids. So that's not a concern. I've also never taken money from anybody. Don't need it, don't want it, and that's provable. And moreover, it's my job to talk to everybody all the time and try and figure out what's happening around the world. That's literally what I do for a living. And I'm not going to stop doing that. Nor should I don't think. I'm also an American. So I can talk to anybody.
Right.
I have no secrets to divulge. So legally, I think the case is ludicrous, and I doubt it will even become a case. I'm bringing this up for a couple of reasons, though, and they're pretty obvious. One is that countries tend to become more authoritarian in wartime. It's just the nature of war. People are dying. The stakes are high. People's emotions have risen to a very high point, to a crescendo. And so there's much less tolerance for any kind of dissent in the homeland. The irony, of course, is the United States fights wars on behalf of freedom, but there's always less of it here in our country during war. So that's a widely recognized phenomenon, and it's likely to.
This is a key component of what he just said here, right here, y'all. There's two things that he just said that I want to kind of address. One, he said, he's talking about the dissent being less during wartime. And I don't think that that's a good thing. I don't think that that's a good thing. And we've come to accept that as this is what it is. When we're in war, you know, it's kind of like if we fighting outside, don't question me in the fight. Wait till we get home. I understand the logic. But when you're talking about a whole lot of death and a whole lot of killing and a whole lot of resources, after talking about how you campaign the exact opposite way, I think there should be a whole lot of fucking dissent if we go to war and there has not been voted on by Congress. See, everybody just glossed over the fact that first they said this wasn't a war. Everybody said this ain't a war. All of the people, the vet bros and the people that got their own biases and their reason why they on social media pushing that we should be at war with our enemy, Islam is our enemy. These the same fucking people that 2 years ago was talking about how dope fucking Dubai is. Newsflash, most of the people in fucking Dubai are Muslim. So people went from went from Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Remember that? Everybody was going over there talking about that. We went from that to the Muslim savages. Right? But nonetheless, if you did not go through the natural channels in the Constitution, generally, and I know because nobody's followed the actual fucking rules for however long, now all of a sudden everybody want to act like, oh, it ain't really a war in the beginning. Why you go do a fucking war? And now everybody want to act like Congress isn't supposed to vote on actual war. So in the beginning, you have all of these conversations about it's not a war, it's just military strikes. We're helping our allies. At the same time, if anybody would have done any type of shit like this to the United States, we would have immediately acknowledged it as an act of fucking war. We would have probably voted on through Congress and went through. But for some reason, when there's oil interests or we're doing another government's bidding or going in conjunction with another government, you just don't want to respect the system of checks and balances that's there. So when you don't do that, I do think there should be more motherfucking dissent. I do. If we go outside and you say, if we fighting outside, just be in the fight with me. If we together, you check me back home. That sounds good in theory until you start recognizing that your man always going outside starting bullshit and you just happen to be with him. Even bigger than that, your man is only starting bullshit knowing that you're going to be with him. So now all of a sudden, I'm supposed to suspend my intelligence after conflict, after conflict, after conflict, after conflict. No, thank you. So when that starts to happen, you're supposed to go, yo, bro, even if I start questioning you before we go outside, yo, bro, we ain't getting in no shit today. We ain't doing that. So I think there should be more dissent around those times. That's one. And two, if the people are dissenting because you went through this process in a way that resembles the other time we was outside and we got into a squabble, I do think that there should be more people having dissenting opinions before we all get on one accord and start sending young men to die. Anybody that does perspective is wrong. I am as objective and open-minded as I come. When it gets to a line where I go, you're wrong. I don't care if you're a fucking vet, bro. I don't care if whatever your reason is. This government, the United States government and this administration did not go through the proper channels. This does not mean that I'm saying it's illegal because the War Powers Resolution exists. That's a thing. However, you called it an attack. You called it operations. You said we're not at war. Now you've completely ignored that and said, yeah, we at war. And a litany of other bullshit has happened over the last 16 days. So you didn't go through the proper channels. You calling it something that it's not to stay within the so-called legal means of the War Powers Resolution. And then on top of that, now you want to silence dissenting voices that are acknowledging that you didn't do that shit the proper way. I think we should be louder. Because if you would get more one accord from us if it was voted on by Congress. If you didn't lie that it wasn't a war, then did war shit. If you didn't fucking gaslight us and pretend like it wasn't something that it was. And now all of a sudden you're like, oh. So now you got media, most effective devil in America, in conjunction with the deep state, the intelligence communities, NSA, CIA, insert whoever. Now one of yours is off the reservation and he asking certain questions, the same questions that he's asked even in spaces at times when I dislike him, meaning Tucker Carlson. Now he's independent and he's getting more energy independent. He's using the media to ask his own questions. Now all of a sudden this administration and or the CIA want to ask questions about, let me read Tucker Carlson's text. And the general public, because the general public is either influenced by or in agreement with or influenced Tucker Carlson or other media personalities' dissent. That is a reality, and y'all are worried about risking more of the fucking plebes and slaves and sheep going, no thank you. And certain leaders in their field. I am 1,000% saying no thank you to this fucking war. But not just me, though. But let's play a little bit more. Because, you know, maybe Maj, you always the fuck the state. You a libertarian. Whatever. Cool. Maybe. Let's listen more to Tucker.
Likely to happen now, too. Another point to make that is worth knowing is that the U.S. the intelligence agency, spy on Americans. Now, you probably knew that, and it's been revealed a lot, including by Julian Assange and Ed Snowden, both of whom are threatened with death for revealing it, but everyone knows. But it's probably a little more widespread than most people understand. And it's outrageous. There's no justification for your government, which you own, you're a shareholder in it, you pay for it, to be violating your privacy like this. But it happens all the time. And in fact, one of the reasons that CIA or people within CIA, just to be clear, it's a huge, sprawling, disconnected agency. What it does in a specific case doesn't represent what everybody in the building thinks, but there are some people who are mad at me for my views about Israel.
Agreed.
And they have some latitude. And one of the reasons they pass on criminal complaints.
Now, I want to go back. I want to stop it right there real quick. Guys, make sure you hit the like button. I want everybody to hit the like button if you're watching on YouTube. Subscribe. If you're watching on X, y'all, repost the show. Share the show, yo. Like, come on. It costs you nothing to do that. He just said something. Let's go back real quick. We'll play this real quick again. Forget what timestamp it is, but let's listen.
What it does in a specific case doesn't represent what everybody in the building thinks, but there are some people who are mad at me for my views about Israel.
That, solutionaries, I want y'all to pay attention. I keep telling y'all, don't say my views about Israel, my views about the Jews. You can get boxed in that way. It's easier to get painted as an anti-Semitic person when you say that, because it's not all of Israel, and that's a slip on his part, okay? And I'm not saying, you know, Tucker Carlson is anti-Semitic. I don't throw labels on people like that until it's obvious, right? Even if they are, right? I tell y'all all of the time, I say, I do not like the United States government. If I say, forget the U.S., the general assumption means I hate the land, the people in it, and everything about it. I say, I do not fuck with the United States government. When you're critical of any governmental body, add that state's government. Because one, the people of that place, that landmass, geographically known as Israel, they're just like the people of America in the sense that we don't know or agree with or even support the fucking actions of our rogue, out of control, fucking deep state led, pedophile, satanic, whatever you want to call it, government. We as the everyday people, as solutionaries, y'all are not like calling down there like, yo, y'all still, y'all got to cut that killing babies out in Pizzagate and Frazzle Drip. You got to cut that shit out. We don't have that phone call. We ain't got the bat signal. right? So it's the same thing with a lot of the people of Israel. They want to go, they believe in their faith, they believe in X, Y, and Z, they believe in whatever they believe, but they got a rogue-ass fucking government, corrupt people in government with a lot of resources that if they're in position. So that's just a quick teachable moment, y'all. When he said, don't like my views on Israel, you say, some of you are not going to like my views of the Israeli government. That's a little distinction, little jewel that everybody can use. When you tap into the show, we as solutionaries talk about, communicate with, and share and translate things that give us an edge, give us a stronger position. It's very difficult for anybody to call me anti-Semitic. Weirdos are just, if they just loyal to the soil, they just going to do it, they're going to do it. But it's not our job to make it. You got to go out of your way to even look like you got a leg to stand on calling me anti-Semitic. Outside of the fact that most of the people that y'all talking about, as I say all of the time, are not Semitic. They're talking usually about Ashkenazi Jews, people that defected from Europe and that lineage. We're not talking about, y'all get it, okay? But just a little something for y'all to be mindful of. My views of the Israeli government's actions are not, I think they are corrupt, add that little bit in there, and you make your political opposition that's going to try to box you in, you make their job much more difficult. Let's play some more.
And they have some latitude. And one of the reasons they pass on criminal complaints, in effect, to law enforcement is to justify warrants for spying on Americans. So that is an absolutely real thing. But the main reason they do it is to leak the existence of the investigation, such as it is, to the media, and then humiliate and terrify the subjects of this op. And that's, of course, happened to me repeatedly, many times, including in famously 2021, when I was still at Fox News and trying to set up an interview with Vladimir Putin. And the NSA, I heard from someone there, had grabbed my text messages with an American citizen and had leaked them to news outlets. Those texts were basically my attempts to set up an interview with the foreign head of state, and they leaked them to the New York Times in order to stop the interview, which they successfully did, by the way. And they admitted that they were spying on me. This is not a fantasy. It actually happened. They did it again 2 years later. My second attempt to get a Putin interview, I managed to get it anyway, and they've done it since. And so when you get a call from a reporter who knows the contents of your texts,
right,
it's pretty clear something's going on. None of this, in my judgment, as of right now, is a huge threat to me. So I'm not making this video to complain about it or whine or ask you to send me money because I'm under attack. I'm saying it because it's true, and you should know what your own government is doing, and you should know what the stakes are. And you should know that a lot of what happens in this country that affects outcomes happens behind the scenes. Some of it is legal, some of it is not, including what I'm describing.
Most of it is not. Most of it is unconstitutional. This is why we keep talking about the civics class, y'all. I'm saying this because some people will say, well, Maj, Congress hasn't voted on the war since World War II. Yeah, that's a fucking problem. You can't on one hand say you support the Second Amendment, and then you see a leftist going, the Second Amendment is outdated. That was back in the day. And then you go, that's ridiculous. Technology changes, but rights don't. You understand that something from way back in the day needs to still be held on to. Conservative, you're supposed to conserve those traditional values and founding documents and ideologies. You understand that shit. So at the same time, you got to evaluate your own bias when you want some, damn, maybe I'm on some neocon warmonger shit. Because your justification for, well, we haven't voted, we haven't respected the system of checks and balances as it relates to a war since World War II. That's a problem. So you should start leaning back in the direction of limiting government. If you want to make America great again, you have to get back to principles that actually made America better in certain things. All right? Less regulation. More building and infrastructure in America. Less fucking foreign entanglement. I say this all of the time. This is my go-to line. America was in a better position economically and financially, and amongst other things, when Pittsburgh was producing 30% of the world's steel. So when you go back to manufacturing, production, all of the things that politicians say, including limiting fucking government and intel agencies, when clearly they are spying, and most of that, to Tucker's point, is done behind the scenes and most of it is illegal. He's being very generous here. Most of it's lawful. I say it because illegal to property and body, unlawful meaning it violates a statute. When it could be illegal when it's like your house, your stuff, your body, right? Anyway, it's unconstitutional mostly. And if you can understand the power of the Second Amendment and the importance of it, that old document, and when a leftist says, man, that's from back in the day, they didn't even have full auto, which they did. But if you can articulate that there, apply that same logic here. If you happen to tap into the show, again, you guys, some of you are pro this Iran war. Some of my Jewish homies are pro it because Iran does have issues with Jews. Some of the Israeli government and the Muslim people that happen to follow a certain ideology are in opposition to Jewish people. And I get it. So none of my Jewish friends, again, because of skillful communication, none of my Jewish homies are like, you're an anti-Semite. I am objective in telling them my interests lie where if this is happening, you got to show me that we voted on these things that are imminent threats to Americans. And right now, none of that has been there. So I'm in opposition to this war in Iran. They don't think that that means that I'm like, yeah, I'm just on the anti-Jew, anti-Semitic train. See, we far too intelligent and sophisticated in our approach as solutionaries. That's why we communicate every night, Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. to make sure we sharpening each other. But all of the stuff that they're doing is, the vast majority of it is fucking illegal, unlawful, and unconstitutional. Be very clear about that.
Describing now, but it has an effect. And the intel agencies, again, not everyone in the intel agencies. There are decent, hardworking Americans who work in the intel agencies are Americans, just like there are decent, hardworking Americans who work at the DMV. But there are also people with agendas and grudges and no sense of restraint who are happy to misuse the power they have, granted them by our elaborate secrecy laws, to hurt fellow Americans for ideological reasons. That is entirely real. That's the story of Russiagate. And it's likely that things like that,
since including up to Russiagate, people conspired and lied. But here's where the Trump administration is wrong in this. All of that Russiagate shit, Trump ain't arrest nobody. All of that, y'all remember this? Let me look. Y'all remember this right here? I'm gonna jump around a little bit. Y'all remember this? Remember when Trump said this?
Because they came after me trying to do a coup. They came after me spying on my campaign. They started from the day I won and even before I won, from the day I came down the escalator with our First Lady. They were a disaster. They were a disgrace to our country. And we've caught them. We've caught them all. We've got it all on tape. We've caught them all. And by the way, you gave the idea for the Logan Act against General Flynn. You better take a look at that because we caught you in a sense. And President Obama was sitting in the office. He knew about it, too. So don't tell me about a free transition because they came after me trying to do a coup. They came after me spying on my campaign. They started from the day I won and even before I won.
Y'all hear it? Y'all hear it? From the day I came down the escalator to this, to that. So the Trump administration is fully aware. This is where that deep state conversation gets deep. Trump even admitted the whole Russia, they were spying on him, and then the Russiagate conversation. But Trump got in office. Who's been arrested? You ain't even motherfucking arrest Fauci. You ain't even fire Fauci. So as solutionaries, we gotta keep it a buck. We gotta keep it a hundo. So when my questioning of things happens, don't start tripping because I'm asking questions that any high school dropout such as myself can ask. If you got a gut feeling and you got a history of watching the fucking government do shit, left or right, the uni party, and you lived through the COVID era regime where government worked with finance, it's been 6 years, damn near to the T. Damn near to the T. We watch this happen. Don't try to, I'm giving y'all permission to stand firm in your conviction, even if you can't always articulate it like I can. Even if you can't, this is the reason why I want everybody to come to the show every night. So we can get an objective perspective. If it was real, I would ride with it. I would go, nah, that's some real shit. That's some real shit. But unfortunately, we got a history of Operation Northwoods and shit like that happening. When we pull the government's file out, we got all of these things happening. Okay? So now that the right is in office, I'm looking to make America great again. What the fuck happened? You lame the fuck out. And tonight we're going to go through all of this. We might go a little long tonight, y'all. Guys, givesendgo.com/solutionary. Support the work, guys. The link is on the screen, right? In the chat. Make sure that you're supporting our actual work. givesendgo.com/solutionary. Let's raise $500 tonight. Every donor at the $100 level, you're going to get access to all of the classes. If you want to be the person that can articulate and defend and be understanding and knowledgeable like I am, that's my goal. We need more solutionaries. Every donor at $100, you're supporting our work, as well as you're helping to strengthen the Second Amendment. And what you get for that is access to all of our online classes and modules, lifetime access and video. So again, guys, support the actual work. Support the actual work. givesendgo.com/solutionary. So back to the second thing, then we're going to move forward a little bit. You got to call the bullshit balls and strikes. When you're in a matrix for so long, like Tucker Carlson was, Tucker's worked at Fox. Tucker's been, you know what I mean? Like you said, hey, they blocked my interview with Putin. Now they telling me I'm a treason. Mind you, these conversations were happening before the war that they said isn't a fucking war. So you can use their contradictions right back against them all day fucking long. And it's not that you hate America or you're in alignment with the Muslim jihadist brotherhood, because they'll say that too. The one side will call you an anti-Semite. The other side will call, some other people in that same side will call you're down with the Muslim brotherhood, you're supporting terrorism. They use the same fucking media tactics. If you, after 9/11, everybody seemed to get along for that one little minute, right? Then it immediately went to anybody that had like a fucking Hindu name. Never mind the fact that Hindus are not fucking Muslim, right? Now you're the problem. You did it to the towers, right? And then we had to cool down and go, wait a minute, guys. We're kind of projecting some shit on the people that you're not even looking at what fucking happened. So when you see over time, you start asking questions about 9/11 and wars of fucking weapons of mass destruction, this, that, and third. After a while, you're supposed to start going, wait a minute. Maybe I was used as a part of a propaganda tool, and now I got less freedoms than I had before this whole thing. Maybe the Hegelian dialect thing is a real conversation. Just maybe. You never know. Right? So when that happens, you got to ask them questions. Like Tucker is doing here.
That will begin to happen at greater scale now. So you should just know that going forward. Thanks.
I want to be very clear. One of our skills
so the other
as
day,
solutionaries is the ability to watch what happened and then ask questions. Watch what happened and then ask questions before you make a move. If your life is not in an imminent threat scenario, you should watch, because you got to make more rapid decisions if your life is in, or life in general, is in a potential imminent threat scenario. I want to hear how many people in the chat actually felt like before 2 weeks ago, before 16 days ago, do you feel like the American people and the American way of life and American interests or bodies, especially in America, but not limited to, do you feel like your life was at threat, an imminent threat by fucking Iran? Let me know in the chat. I want to give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Do you feel like the American people were in an imminent threat scenario from the people of Iran as of February, whatever the last day of February is, February the 15th, a month ago? Do you feel like that was the case? And if I want to hear from you all in the comment section. And if you don't feel it was the case, right? In that scenario, you should stop and go, okay, I get more time to evaluate. We're not in an imminent threat scenario. You're now being told, as you have been told for 47 fucking years, that, or 30 years, however long it is, Iran is this close to weapons of mass destruction. Oh, excuse me, my bad. I'm getting my conspiracy theories confused. Iran is this close to having nuclear weapons. So I believe that it's like, all right, I got a little bit more time to look at this. And then looking at this, last June, I say this all of the time, it's going to start to look like my show is scripted. They make so many fucking mistakes that I get to repeat a certain talking point that it looks like the Maj Toure show, Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. is fucking scripted. You guys just blew up in June. You just blew up 3 spots that you was like, that was their nuclear spots. Fort Al, whatever, y'all get it. Cool. Y'all said we took them out. And y'all called us panicking because we was like, whoa, that's looking a little bit too much like you doing war shit, and we haven't voted on it in Congress. And they was like, you panicking. Look, he just got in, he blew it up, and then whatever. We have now gotten to a point where we justify violating the Constitution based on how fast the violation to the Constitution as it relates to war can happen and how fast they can get in and get out. We are talking about the United States government, this administration, kidnapped a president, a foreign national, a head of state, Maduro, kidnapped him. That happened. That's what that was. And everybody's like, well, it's not really a war because we just sent a small crew. There's no other time where we make this type of fucking justification. Okay? Where we like, well, it's okay because it was a small SF unit. These Delta guys got in there and kidnapped him. Cool. So fuck the Constitution. It's okay that we kidnap. If Macron was kidnapped, or if the people of Taiwan kidnapped the president of China, Jinping, right? And it was a small unit and it was fast. Is it cool internationally? In international law, is it cool? Is it cool? No, it's fucking not. So our weird ass justification and these hoops that we jumping through to justify shit is not cool. So we got to that point. So you're supposed to ask certain questions as a person that recognizes, okay, we're not under imminent threat attack, or at least we don't feel like, by Iran. They've been talking that shit for however many years. Death to America, la 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 la, durka, whatever the fuck. I don't care. If it's real, it's real. If it ain't, it ain't. If it's real, we're gonna eat your face off. We as America, we do this violent shit. We're gonna fuck you right over, quick, and love it, and then have some fucking barbecue right afterwards. So I'm not one of those people that's like, oh no, I'm not that. You fuck with us, we're gonna fuck you over. We turn your shit into a parking lot. Your shit might look like the Gaza Strip. Might. But that has to be warranted. And I don't see the warrant. But since I don't see the warrant, I get time to evaluate. Show me your warrant. Does this warrant this? No. All right, let me evaluate. So now you're doing the same script. You're doing the same talking points. You're going after media journalists like Edward Snowden, like John. The thing that's saving Tucker in this scenario is Tucker got immediate. He don't got to go through the middleman with Fox. He can do that shit right from his crib. I love the setup. I'm trying to set my own setup that way. He could go right to the masses. Boom. And reach 10 million, 20, 30 million, however many 100 million people. And say, hey, I just found out that the CIA is trying to do that thing that they be doing. We got to ask them questions. Do not, especially to the vet bros. And I'm saying this to y'all when y'all see the vet bros on social media talking that you hate America if you're not, Islam is all right. They saying that shit because they got tricked to go to fucking Iraq, Afghanistan, wherever. They lost friends. They got a beef with Islam because they was in a savage part of Islam section of the planet. Afghanistan and the bachi-bazi shit. That shit is savage shit. So they got a bone to pick. And I understand your loss, but I can't justify your loss to act like we should go do the same repetitive dumb shit. And that's what the media in conjunction with this current administration wants you to do. Tell me where I'm wrong in a motherfucking chat. Tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me where I'm wrong. That means my alarm went off. That means I'm cooking out this joint. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. Support the work if you get something from the show. So this Tucker Carlson speaks to a bigger issue because it seemed like we're talking about Tucker, and even Tucker recognizes it in this video. We're not talking about Tucker. That's why he's like, I ain't tripping. I ain't asking y'all to send me no money. I'm just telling y'all this is the goofy shit that they doing. This is the goofy shit that they doing because I'm asking questions about a thing. I talked to some people in Iran, and the government is violating my fucking Fourth Amendment rights, which is a part of the Bill of Rights, to my understanding, is still in effect. Y'all violating my shit. This is the media and government working in conjunction. They're probably about to trot out a story about me type shit, doing the same dumb thing, silencing a dissenting voice, but that's not really what America's supposed to be about. If you really an American and not just bootlicking on whichever side of the boot show up for you. Y'all want government this is the same shit when the Biden administration was pressing motherfuckers for asking questions about the Ukraine war. They used the Jean-Pierre lesbian curly hair black chick, and then before her somebody else, and they used all of these fucking people to defend a false fucking narrative to why we should be supporting our fucking allies in Ukraine. Fuck Ukraine. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about Ukraine. There's some hot models from Ukraine, no doubt. They better figure out how the fuck to get over to America. But other than that, I don't give a fuck about Ukraine. See, this is the thing. I actually am America first. And right now, for me, it's America only. Right now. Other than as it relates to, can we do good business? Can we do good trade? But you got Trump now trying to ask all of those other foreign nations, yo, send some ships over here to the Strait of Hormuz. And they like, nah, I don't know about that, bro. Because everybody told you that this is what this is. Nah, they not a threat. Meaning Iran. They can't fuck you over, but they could fuck the whole global economy up. Here's the reality, y'all. This is the nutshell, and I'm gonna work backwards a little bit. I'm gonna say this, then we're gonna work it backwards. Okay? Iran was never a threat to America. That's it. They kept saying death to America. You know how many death threats I get a week? I average like 3 to 5 death threats in my personal email a week. I don't even read them no more. I should start reading them. Maybe we could fundraise around it, right? But even if they really believe that, maybe because corrupt portions of the deep state were going over there bombing shit, they're in this situation because of the United States government involvement. Stop. We can't separate that. So now you want to play big and bag, and the warmongers want to keep selling fucking missiles and tomahawks and tanks and whatever, surface-to-air missiles, whatever the fuck. Now that certain people genuinely thought that an administration was like, no new wars, and they like, yeah, why? We got potholes up the street from the crib. Infrastructure, bridge problems and shit. So now that you holding people to that, now you want to try to silence and dissent the voices. Listen, some want to believe that Trump was never told that Iran, and he said it now. He's trying to figure out a way to save his fucking legacy. Just like J.D. Vance is being fucking quiet right now about this, because they were all contradictory in making this move. For whatever reason, for some reason, y'all just got in there and just went the opposite. Some of y'all want to believe that Trump was never told all of this because he's putting out content now. His interviews, I'll find some of it, talking about, I was never told that. Shut the fuck up. Let me be very clear. Maybe he wasn't. I don't believe that. It's all on the handlers. I might have believed that in his first term. Oh, he went in there and the deep state was crazier than he thought it was. And he didn't have the ability to know. And yeah, I'll give you that maybe your first fucking term. But you were in there and you were in charge. You saw how corrupt the deep state got when you lost the second fight or run for office. Then you got in there the third time. You came in like a bat out of hell. I came in like a wrecking ball. You came through like a wrecking ball the first 2 months of this administration, the second term. then you 180. Someone that, and then it's like, oh, his people are lying to him, and fuck out of here. You're in charge. You're the guy. You talk heavy shit like you that dude. You've been talking heavy shit about maybe just today. Maybe we go in there, we do what we want with Cuba. Maybe we take it. Maybe we free him. I don't know. We could do whatever we want. This is what this Trump said. So you big shit talking like you in charge, but yet and still want on this Iran situation. Oh, nobody told me. Nobody let me know. All of your fucking generals for however long have said they're not a threat. They don't pose a threat. You shouldn't do this war. You shouldn't do this war. Why? Why did they say that? They said that because Iran can't fuck with you on this tip, on the overwhelming force tip, but they can definitely impact global economies by destabilizing the fucking region as it relates to fucking oil. Duh. You don't got to be a college graduate to fucking know that. You don't have to be. The guy that's talking so much shit that has been in office already, he knows that there's snakes around. Because when he campaigned the second and third time, the deep state kept me out. They surrounded me with people. So that means you elected and brought these people with you on the second fucking term. Mister, you're fired. You're fired. Mister, you're fired. Doesn't know how to ascertain when people are not doing the job right. You built a whole fucking rebrand of your brand on The Apprentice off of your ability to tell who's good and who's not. I knew that was bullshit again when you brought Peyton Bondi up from fucking Florida. Stop it. Right then I knew, nope, this ain't going to be pro-gun. You lost the benefit over doubt there. You are such an awesome businessman you're supposed to be. You're supposed to have them fucking instincts. You don't have the fucking instincts. You've surrounded your cabinet with the bullshitters. You surrounded us and got in league with first Elon and then Peter Thiel, the PayPal mafia, the surveillance state. But I thought you was the boss that you're fired. Either you're the boss, or you in charge of information, or you don't, and you're not as amazing as other people have claimed you to be. You can't have it fucking both ways. But let's go back. Let's go back. I want to go back some, guys. Again, you campaigned on this. Now you're getting called out for the switch up. Now you're deep state. You're deep state because you're in charge, or you're not. Stop playing it both ends against the middle. Now your deep state is going after people that are waking other people up by sharing a message and going, this looks like bullshit. Then when being called out, after you campaigned the opposite and did the 180, government and media's response is the same old approach while ignoring their own contradictions. And this is why Tucker is being investigated. But this is all simply because of a bigger problem that we've had in politics, the United States government, intelligence agencies, etc. This ain't about fucking Tucker Carlson. And those of us that knew this and are more willing to articulate this, knew this from the gate. I want to share this with y'all real quick. And some of y'all might get upset at this video right here. Please don't. Don't get upset. Don't get upset. Just be objective and listen to this. And watch it. Because when you start looking backwards, you know how they say hindsight is 20/20? All we got to do is look back and go like, where did we hear this before? Let's see.
Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
They're not the person who ought to be leading the movement if they are spending all day criticizing the president of the United States as covering up a Mossad rape ring.
Your taxpayer dollars are going to subsidize pedophile rings.
Or being a tool of the Israelis for hitting an Iranian nuclear facility.
Would you say it's a good idea to use military force to strike potential Iranian nuclear targets? My whole life I've been told that Iran is getting a bomb. Iran is getting a bomb. Iran is getting a bomb. Iran is getting a nuclear bomb. And yet here in 2025, they do not have a nuclear bomb. We push back against the media on COVID, on lockdowns, on Ukraine, on the border, on it's like maybe we should also ask a question: is the media totally presenting the truth when it comes to Israel? Just a question, you know, that maybe we shouldn't believe everything the media says, because I know I've been conditioned to ask a lot more critical questions over the last couple of years.
And again, you know, one of my great irritations is when people use the third person plural without specifying who they're talking about and say they.
They were wrong about Iraq. They were wrong about Syria. They were wrong about Afghanistan. They were wrong about the Taliban. They were wrong about Libya. They were wrong about the Arab Spring. They were wrong about Yemen. They were wrong about the Arabian Peninsula. They were wrong about the 9/11 hijackers being Saudi Arabian. But hey, 10 times the charm. This time we're actually right. Yeah, you're going to have to earn our trust on this one.
Charlie's voice is not silent. We're going to pick up that bloodstained microphone where Charlie left it.
A short time ago, the United States military began major combat operations in Iran.
Today, obviously, I just came back from Shabbat, from Sabbath, to the news of what is going on. And let's just say this. President Trump is the most courageous commander-in-chief in modern American history. There is no question about this. What he just did is the bravest move.
I am going to continue to ask the question, a 20-hour response in a country the size of New Jersey. That begs a big explanation. And more importantly, America is significantly underwriting the Israeli government $4 billion a year. We as American taxpayers deserve answers to this. We deserve answers. Also, if we're going to get into a regional or world war based on an intel failure. So, I mean, we pay for this. What are we buying, right? I got smeared as a Jew hater, an anti-Semite, and conspiracy theorist because I said exactly what I just said. And I refused to back down despite all the smears thrown at me, because I learned during COVID. I learned when they told us that it came from a bat in the Himalayas. I learned when they told us the vaccine was safe and effective. I learned when they told us that ivermectin was horse paste, that you better keep asking questions because it's the only thing that keeps us free. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So when we are asking critical fucking questions, in hindsight, we have the benefit of, and that hits a little bit differently. Because you know what Candace Owens, who has said, and I've sat down with Candace, I've done her show. Okay? You know what Candace Owens has said? Charlie Kirk was killed because he was about to be in serious in opposition. For some reason, the Israeli government wants a war with Iran. He had a big following. If he's falling out of that, we got to get rid of him. We got to co-opt his voice, even if it goes to the point of murdering him in front of everybody. And y'all know the phrase, that shit looks weird. Erica Kirk looks weird. Her placement looks weird. Trump, him going, nah, Trump doing a 180 around that time looks weird. That's what he actually believed as it relates to our involvement in Iran. This was not 10 years ago. That video, some of that was last year. We in March. We ain't talking about 2015. He's saying some of these same things that us as solutionaries and liberty-based people have been saying for some time now. It's not wrong. But you expect me to believe some other shit. You're warmongering, fucking up the economy, overextending back to back to back to back to back. This is exactly why generals have consistently advised against the war in Iran. 1,000%. Charlie Kirk said these things before he was killed. Again, Iran was no threat to fucking America. But they were fully and are showing us at the gas pump, while everybody gonna get on the stage and gaslight you, your media pundits that are all the way bought in, company men, want to be top flight security of the world, Craig. Them people, them media pundits, and some of them are on X. Some of the people that I respect in other lanes are absolutely meat gobbling on this lane. Oh, Trump's doing a great job. We should not fucking be in Iran. That's it. Trump's statements over the last day or two indicate that. And instead of just acknowledging that the deep state that's going further into the military-industrial complex shit is now going to go after independent journalists, just like we make fun of the Biden administration for doing. You guys are doing the same fucking thing. And miss me what the Trump didn't know is his handlers. Stop talking that big boss shit, champ. You know that this thing is full of snakes. You know you the boss. You can't have it both ways. See, they try to package it that way so now they can. Some of the anti-Semitic people, actually anti-Semitic people, they do want it all to be the Jews. So they say, oh no, Trump, it's his handlers. It's the Jewish handlers, as if he doesn't have fucking autonomy. And if he doesn't have autonomy, maybe he's on the early stages of the sleepy Joe Biden shit. Maybe. But I'm not falling for the it's his Jewish handlers shit. I find he's either compromised, and I find that more easy to believe, because the way that they handle the fucking Epstein files, I think you're either compromised, complicit, blackmailed, or a fucking part of it. I can't give you the grace of he didn't know. I can't do that. You as a solutionary and as an actual patriot should not give him that either. Israel, the government, and the military-industrial complex benefit from this war, and it's clear. You might got some stock in fucking whatever, right? They do not give a fuck about how many Americans die or if it becomes a regional war with American boots on the ground or the 5,000 Marines on the outskirts in the water. The pawns are soldiers, and that soldier is a fucking means to an end. That's what happens. These is fucking war games. I'm going to lose 3 of mine. They're going to lose 5 of theirs. But the American people were promised, no, we're not doing this. Where am I wrong in this? All of these back-to-back fucking contradictions. It's almost unbelievable, the contradictions. Then when I say it, y'all act like, Maj, you grifting. I thought you liked Trump. And when I was 14, when I read The Art of the Deal, as most hip-hop people was like, yo, Raekwon and all of them and da-da-da-da-da. Guess who's the black Trump? That's cool. I'm not knocking that. But I also go, as more information is presented, I go, nah, I can't get with that. I could still be making a lot of money selling Trump merch over at blackgunsmatter.shop. I took it off and I made a public post on why I took the stuff down. He is not representing what I thought he was going to do this go round. I got cool, great marketing. Whoever ran the campaign did a good job, but everything in the world was lining up for him to actually be the president. Let me say something to y'all right now. Thomas Massie is who Donald Trump was pretending to be. Thomas Massie is who Donald Trump was pretending to be. I'm Massie, my homie. I took all of it. I could have made way more money off the Trump merch. I took it all down. The mugs. I could have sold it to all of the neocon pundits. I could have shipped it, gave him some for free. I probably could have sold. I could have made 6 merch. I took it down. It's not given. What the girls say, it's not given liberty. It ain't given liberty. I don't want to be associated with it no more. Maybe he'll swing it around this last 2 years and some change. Maybe. But the contradictions are fucking clear. The contradictions are fucking clear. This is from today, I think. Let's look. And some of this is edited, but I want y'all to, this is one single event talking about the nations that he reached out to that was like, nah, bro, our allies. You don't have an ally anymore when you're doing some shit that the rest of the world is like, no thanks, bro. No thanks. So this is what he said, back to back.
If we ever needed help, they won't be there for us. I've just known that for a long period of time. We have some that are really enthusiastic. They're coming already. This isn't need. Need would be one of the big boys. If we need their mine boats, or if we need anything, any piece of apparatus that they may have because of a situation that they have, they should be jumping to help us. We want them to come and help us with the strait. My attitude is, we don't need anybody. We're the strongest nation in the world. We have the strongest military by far in the world. We don't need them.
Did you follow that?
If we
You giving CNN fuel. You're giving CNN fuel. And listen, let me be very clear. This does not mean that I think CNN is. If I peel back them edits, we objectivist solutionaries. If I peel back them edits, they might have took them out of context in some parts. But that speaks to certain things of contradictions. We could go with that, but we could also go with, you said no new wars, you rushed into the war. Again, this is why J.D. Vance is being fucking quiet right now. J.D. Vance, if J.D. Vance is on the ticket, everybody should write in Thomas Massey. Everybody should write in Thomas Massey regardless. Regardless. If Thomas Massey decides to run for president, and I don't think he will, a few things happen in my mind. One, I'm fucking going to campaign for fucking Thomas Massey. That's one. Two, I'm afraid that he's already been compromised because his story's too perfect. And I say this with a skeptical mind for my homie. His story, the lineup is too perfect. It's so bad, it's almost like a redo of Biden and then Kamala back to Trump. The story is so perfect that I'm like, maybe they already got to you. Like, that's where my mind goes. But if not, I'm going to still hold them to the same fire. And, yo, you said this, now do this. I'll stop selling the Massey versus Trump shirts. The fuck? Right? My point in saying this is, we are objective, but we see the lineup looks like this Trump shit is the opposite of what it was. Don't get gaslight by these motherfuckers in the media that's about to try to make you seem like somehow you wrong for pointing out the inconsistency. And I'm seeing a lot of vet bros turned podcast bros to this, to that, to neocons, to all of that, acting like we can't see right what's in front of our face. They doing the same thing like y'all was almost telling us that we tripping because we can see that Joe Biden is not the Joe Biden that campaigned. It's almost like I was buying into the conspiracy theory that, I say that jokingly, that phrase. I was buying into like, it got to be two Joe Bidens, man. They trotting out a different motherfucker for the campaign trail than the motherfucker that's walking looking like he shitted his pants across the fucking East Lawn. But they all told us, your lying eyes are lying to you. We're like, this dude's incompetent. He getting on stage and saying just absolute gibberish. It was so bad that we went like, God damn. And then we was like, Kamala, she looked like she drunk all the time. She's like a young Nancy Pelosi in that regard. So we went, Trump seems to make more sense. And the team he had around him, it did make more sense. So if you did go that direction, you wasn't stupid. You was like, yo, this looks like it makes more sense. That's all. And now you go, this doesn't make sense anymore. You've destroyed the goodwill of the people that you lied to initially. Again, he either on the early stages of the Sleepy Joe shit, or he's in charge, complicit and compromised. Either way, in my opinion, he should resign. And I know we're in the middle of a war that we shouldn't be, but that talking tough and making these dumb moves, we all know that should not have been made. There's no excuse for this level of fucking incompetence. It's none. But cool. We not going. That's Trump. Let's back up again. Let's go back to Tucker Carlson because that's what tonight's show is about. Again, guys, givesendgo.com/solutionary. That's the page right there, y'all. Come on, y'all. What the fuck? Support the goddamn work. Like, come on. Givesendgo.com/solutionary. I want everybody to support the work. If everybody's 181 of y'all watching right now, share the space all over the place. Somebody actually gave a super chat. Dre gave a super chat saying, check out the book Twilight War. It covers Russia and Iran beginning in the 70s. They always say Iran's a threat. Every decade. Every time they try, it's like they say Iran's a threat and they be like, oh, it's the evil Muslims. They do that shit like every whatever. When they trying to like get a new fucking, again, like in the movies, if y'all watch movies, again, y'all, I promise y'all, soon I'm gonna do movies with Maj. And I think I'm gonna start with like 80s movies. 80 movies was fucking dope. I was watching Predator with Arnold, the first one, like yesterday, right? I watch old shit. I watch 80s shit. I watch TV shows from the 90s, 80s, 90s, 60s, black and white movie. Like I'll just watch all kind of. Y'all know I'm 107 years old. Okay, so that's that one. So support the work, guys. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. I'm gonna do a movies with Maj because this is entertaining talking about these things. But they always use Russians, Arabs, and Arabs as villains, and they use Islam as the like, ooh. So anytime they try to like make a war, ain't nobody gonna be talk. If you're trying to fly internationally right now, Dubai and Abu Dhabi is probably cheap. Outside of the fact that they might get blown the fuck up by Iran, right? Outside of that, if they, my man, let me not laugh because my man Zuby lived in Dubai and he just had a baby. You know what I mean? So I want to send love and energy to everybody, but it's not as crazy as the media makes it. At least that's what he said, right? With that being said, prayers and energy to everybody. I don't want nobody to take my joking as like me being fucked up to the homies. That being said, you could probably get a cheap flight to fucking Dubai and see over there because just a couple of years ago, Dubai and Abu Dhabi, all of the girls was going on brunch and they was talking about, even the conservatives was like, oh, America, we could have nice things if we treated criminals like they treat criminals in Dubai. Them same people right now are saying Muslims are the problem. Newsflash, motherfuckers. Most of Dubai is Muslim. Y'all gotta pick and choose, y'all fucking like, come on, bro. Like some of us actually got memories. And I have a bad memory, but some shit, I have short-term problems with memory, right? But the like extended stuff, I'm good at that. Y'all on one hand just was like, yeah, if we just, I remember they just said Dubai, the Matt Walshes of the world, those types, right? Oh, if we just treated criminals like they treat them in Dubai and other places around the world, we'd have a, you know what I mean, these leftists, da-da-da-da. And now Muslim nations like Dubai, y'all saying Muslim and Islam is a problem. Every single time you turn around, those are the people that have the actual problem. They the problem. Whenever you're trying to get a war off, Islam is the problem. They fluctuate. 1 minute, the fucking Cold War, it was the commies, it was this, it was that. And I'm not advocating for communism. I'm not a part of the jihadist brotherhood. I'm just telling y'all what they usually do, and they use their media skillfully to do it. Will Voss says, Maj Toure sent the donation to your link. Thank you, Will. Guys, support the channel at that link right there. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. I think it's pinned to the top of the comment section. But also on top of that, we need everybody to support, guys. It's 190 folks. So let's say this. Let's get 190 people to pitch in $10. If you're watching this on X, because a lot of you are, it's my pinned post. Is that right up at the top? You can keep the video open and you can still donate to our work and stay on the show at the same time. Okay? But let's go back. So we went through what Tucker said. We went through the contradictions. We went through what Charlie Kirk said about this. Because every single one of them act like they love Charlie Kirk. They act like they love Charlie Kirk. I was very critical of Charlie Kirk, and I told him to his face. The tweets on my old page, I got kicked off that page, exist. Some of his rhetoric was very fucking anti-black, and that's not how we unify America. So I'm not pretending like I was a huge Charlie Kirk fan. I spoke at Turning Point events. Yes, I did. But what the fuck happened to him was not fucking okay. It wasn't. So all you motherfuckers, if I can be objective enough to go, there's things that Charlie Kirk said as people that I'm not fucking cool with. And then I can go, so on these things right here, this is probably one of the reasons why he fucking got popped. I remember that. So we went through all of this tonight. With the CIA bothering the fuck out of Tucker Carlson, right? But let's go back a little bit, but not too far. Do y'all remember when Tucker Carlson said this?
How many people live in Iran, by the way? I don't know the population at all. No, I don't know the population. You don't know the population of the country?
No, hold on, y'all. Hold on.
How many people live in Iran? 92 million. Okay. Yeah.
Hold on 1 second, y'all.
I don't sit around memorizing population tables. Well, it's
This video right here is from a sit down that Tucker Carlson had with Ted Cruz. Remember when Tucker Carlson said this, y'all? Remember this.
How many people live in Iran, by the way?
I don't know the population.
At all?
No, I don't know the population.
You don't know the population of the country you seek to topple?
How many people live in Iran?
92 million.
Okay. Yeah,
How could you not know that?
I don't sit around memorizing population tables.
Well, it's kind of relevant because you're calling for the overthrow of the government.
Why is it relevant whether it's,
because,
it's 90 million or 80 million or 100 million? Why is that relevant?
Because if you don't know anything about the country...
I didn't say I don't know anything about
Okay, what's the ethnic mix of Iran?
They are Persians and
what
predominantly Shia. Okay,
it's not even. You don't know anything about Iran. So
okay, I am not the Tucker Carlson expert on Iran.
You're a senator who's calling for the overthrow of the government.
You're the one who
claims. Know anything about the country.
No, you don't know anything about the country. You're the one who claims they're not trying to murder Donald Trump. You're the
I'm
one
not saying that.
who can't figure out if it was a good idea to kill General Soleimani, and you said it was bad.
You don't believe they're trying to murder Trump.
Yes, I do.
Because you're not calling for military strikes against them in retaliation. And if you really believe that,
you don't believe that they're trying to kill President Trump because you are not advocating for military strikes against them. So your beef, even then, and I think this might have been 2025 or maybe 2024. Maybe. I might have got that date wrong or the year. But this was more recent when they sit down. This video went viral. Tucker Carlson chopped Ted Cruz the fuck up. Chicken Szechuan. Fucking hibachi. And then popped the shrimp in his mouth. Boop. Give him a volcano. Pop the shrimp in his mouth. Chopped him right up. This went super viral. Even then, let's say if it was 2025, a year ago, it might have been 2024, maybe summer of 24, right? But nonetheless, Ted Cruz was advocating for going to war with Iran under the guise that we got intel that Iran tried to kill President Trump. And then Tucker's like, you don't believe that. Because if you believe that, you will be advocating that you just try to take out one of us, a United States head of state. Meanwhile, the United States government just went and kidnapped Venezuela's head of state. Contradiction. Contradiction. Somebody said the video is playing music. Yeah, the video's in the background. The music's in the background. I put some fucking hip hop on it, D. It's fucking Maz Toure. Speak to the hood. I speak for hoods across America. It's played some fucking, it's Ghostface's new album, D-Simp. D-Simp said the video is playing music. Yeah, bob your head to that shit. You can hear the people talking too. It's fucking urban over here. I got a fucking urban audience. This is urban. My point, guys, is he got chopped up. Oh, YouTube is mean like that. Oh, that's what you mean. It's oh, okay, I get you. I'm a new YouTuber, y'all. Give me a little bit of grace. Basically, in this video, Tucker Carlson is saying to Ted Cruz, like, you don't know shit about Iran. You're talking about you want to topple Iran, again, a year and some change ago, but you are saying that they're trying to kill President Trump, but you're not advocating for military strikes against the people that tried to do it. So you don't believe that. Why are you pushing us this way? Why are you pushing us in that direction? And that's a legitimate take. And this was a year and some change ago. Guys, the writing's been on the wall. Okay? Will says, I think Turncoat is a Russian shill, but nothing he's saying is illegal. Sorry, Tucker, not Turncoat. I don't think he's a Russian shill. I think everybody that you should question as a solutionary, step back and look. Eminem had a song a while ago where he was saying, when I was just a young boy, my mama told me my dad was the crazy one. And then he grew up and he found out that his mom was the crazy one, right? And so I want everybody to stop and think back for a second, Will Walsh. You said Tucker might be a Russian shill, right? Again, Russians, Arabs are as villains in the movies, in the 80s and 90s, and even now. They Muslim, they smoking cigarettes, they got full auto, they got a beard, they Muslim, they Russian, or they Arab. That's the villain. Okay? That's like the plot line of every fucking 80s movie. It's a Muslim that wants to destroy death to America. Like, it's literally them using the same narrative. So if you stop and evaluate and go, wait a minute, maybe it's not the bad guys that we're being told is the bad guys. Right now, how many people in the chat think that the United States government is operating in the Iran space like the good guys? Tell me how they're the good guys. Somebody tell me, how are we the good guys? How is our United States government right now the good guys? Will says, no, I don't think it's that. I think it's the same evil the CIA has done, but now other nations are doing it better. Russia's beautiful, as are its people, but I don't discount that. That's my point. If all of these governments are doing evil, right, then maybe the general public should be like, we don't want our governments doing evil. I said this earlier on Twitter, right? 1 minute it's the Jews. 1 minute it's the Muslims. 1 minute it's the white Christian males or Christians. Okay? They have someone to villainize and boogeymanify every single person. So when I'm like, yo, it's not the Jews, it's the Israeli government. Right? Or I go, here you go with that Muslim shit. I know Muslims that are more righteous than motherfuckers that claim it all day long. And then they go, well, you never hear about Jews blowing shit up or XYZ. And I sent them a whole list of Jewish terrorism attacks. And I showed them a whole list of Christian terrorist attacks. Dylan Roof murdered all of them people in that church. That's a white Christian male. Miss me with the like, while we're doing that, all of the time that we're doing that, 1 minute it's the Muslims, 1 minute it's the Christians, 1 minute it's the Jews. The whole time it was the fucking government of all of these different nations. The entire time. Then government defends itself. All of government, regardless of their religion or political alliance, just overwhelmingly voted to not fucking release Epstein files and hit it and fought against it and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Then they doubled down just recently, and Congress got together and said, we're not going to highlight the people that's where the money's coming, the slush fund to pay for sexual assault victims out of tax dollars. That just happened. That is your fucking government. That's Jewish people, that's Christian people, and it's Muslim people in that same government. They all got nice and nonpartisan when it came to hiding their bullshit. So you want me to be mad at Jews, you want me to be mad at Christians, and you want me to be mad at fucking Muslims not acknowledging rogue fucking deep state government doing rogue deep state government shit. I'm not going to do that. I'm far too sophisticated to do that. I think too much. I know too much. I've forgotten more than many people will ever know. My nana, that's my nana line. I've forgotten more than you'll ever learn. My thoughts will bust your brains. I'm not tripping about this shit. I'm clear. I want y'all to make sure that you're not getting caught up by these media hypes and fear campaigns and smear campaigns, because they do it on a small tip too. They got actual accounts of actual humans that get micro paid to just say dissenting, to just push back against your thing, to demoralize you. I mute them. If you can't clearly tell me how it made sense, what imminent threat to life that the people of Iran and the Iranian government made to the people of America and the United States government, if you can't tell me that, but then you telling me I'm wrong or I'm supporting terrorism or whatever the fuck little catchy cliche phrase that you got, if you're going to tell me that and not tell me a clear reason where we were under attack, you're fucking wrong. I get to ignore you. I get to not fucking listen to you. If I shoot somebody, y'all can bet dollars to donuts I can prove how it was an imminent threat to life. Mine's, my people, or absolute strangers. If I shot him, yep, I shot him. At this point in my life, If I shoot somebody, it was justified. And it ain't because they said when I see Maj is on site. I don't shoot people. This is so funny because these same people that's justifying this because they said death to America. They've been saying death to America for however long. You the same motherfuckers that'll get mad when a black person smack the shit out of a racist white person that's running around calling them the N-word. It's just a word. Words, you got low IQ. You shouldn't be able to honorable attack people that say violent shit towards you. And it's not. We walking contradictions out this bitch. And don't get mad at me because I can articulate. Are you a fucking contradiction? Because I don't want to be a contradiction. America's great when we're intellectually consistent. America's great when we're supporting the things that are in alignment with our actual Yemen. That's when America's great. America's great when we doing great American shit. America's not great when we pretending like we doing some shit that we ain't really fucking doing. Being divided, thus being divisive, not calling out the bullshit, and most of that bullshit comes from the deep state. Okay? Not being focused and making this partisan as if it's not the same fucking machine. If it would have been Kamala, and if she would have been there, them bombs might have been dropping with pronouns on them or some shit. Rainbows. That's the only difference. And the quicker we start getting behind the people, organizations, and things that call that out, the quicker we start creating force multipliers and we limit government as the founders of America intended. That's what's supposed to happen. My job is to just communicate to hoods across America this way. That's why y'all come to the show Monday through Friday, 9 p.m., so we can chop it up this way. My job is to distill it, to tie it together, to show you a timeline every night that y'all be like, oh, nah, that's some bullshit. That's my job. And that does not mean this ain't church where y'all don't get to talk. Y'all get to go in the comment section and I ask you, tell me where I'm wrong. But y'all smart and y'all go, nah, you ain't wrong. I might disagree with Tucker Carlson and some of his takes. I definitely disagree with them. I disagree with some of the people that he platforms. I don't like it. But that's not how fucking America works. He gets to say whoever the fuck, whatever he wants to whoever he wants on his platform. I don't gotta like it. I don't like that he platformed goofball ass Nick Fuentes. I don't like it. I don't gotta fucking like it. I think even Nick Fuentes is a fucking moron. But he's right about this GOP doing some wild, goofy shit. We as solutionaries are objective enough to do that. And we believe in freedom enough to go, these goofballs, not saying Tucker's a goofball, but Fuentes and others, they got a right to express their opinion. Meanwhile, the deep state is going out of their way in the Trump administration to attack and villainize people for asking questions and having a dissenting voice about a war that y'all said was not a war, that you didn't go through the normal channels. This is supposed to be an op, which means it's supposed to be done in a short period of time. You're supposed to give Congress notice. You're the commander-in-chief under the War Powers Resolution. Give them a notice. And then you got this amount of time, 60 to 90 days, to wrap that shit the fuck up. You're doing extra shit because you want to try to execute that for your handlers or your financial interests, whatever. And then get out of there and act like you're doing us such a solid, and you're not. Gas prices is up. The economy ain't doing better. And it's our time to call that shit the fuck out. And if you're not calling it out, you're not being honest. And as solutionaries, I'm going to make sure that I'm presenting the information, being intellectually honest about it. I can't be honest about it and still selling Trump merch, making all money off the shit. That's not, my moral compass it don't stretch that far. What I can do is go, Massey's doing what Trump pretended like he was going to do. Massey's greater than Trump. We got a shirt on the site. I'm not going to pretend like we don't need your support to keep this thing going. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to pretend like we don't. And on the last video, before we wrap it up, I'm going to end with this. This is Trump. I want y'all to hear what he said, and then we're going to wrap up. I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. Also, guys, smash the like button. Everybody hit the like button. I want everybody to subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on X right now, subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Maj2Ray. Monday through Friday, we do the show. All right, let's listen to this real quick. Then we're going to wrap up with some final thoughts.
Zero. We don't need, we don't need oil. We have all the oil we need for ourselves. It's one of the great assets that we have. We have more than double what anybody else in terms of oil production. We're at more than double any other country. So we don't need it, but we did it. It's almost, you could say we did it out of habit, which is not a good thing to do. But we did it because we have some good allies there. We have some great Middle Eastern countries there, Israel there. So we did it for a lot of reasons. But zero. We don't need,
I want to play this again, y'all. These are the reasons that President Donald Trump is saying while we are in this conflict or war. Y'all hit the link in the chat. If you're watching on the chat, I just put it on the screen. Hit the link in the chat in the comment section if you want your Massey over Trump shirt. But I want to play this again. I want y'all to hear this. Pay attention to the reasons why he's saying we are in a war that we're not really at war in. This is his mouth. So when you fucking pundits jump out there and act like we making some shit up, this is what the commander-in-chief is saying about why why American soldiers are dead. And for you fucking vet bros that lost people, know that you're backing up shit that somebody else was going to be in a similar position. They had a homie, a friend that taught them some shit, a mentor in the military. They bought into the shit, and now that motherfucker ain't going to be on their bunk now. But this is what he's saying.
Zero. We don't need, we don't need oil. We have all the oil we need for ourselves. It's one of the great assets that we have. We have more than double what anybody else in terms of oil production. We're at more than double any other country. So we don't need it, but we did it. It's almost, you could say we did it out of habit.
You could say we did it out of habit.
Which is not a good thing to do.
Which is not a good thing to do. That is evildoer shit. It's not a good thing to do. We killed a bunch of people based on habit, which is not a good thing to do. This is not me saying AI, this ain't fucking Sora.
But we did it because we have some good allies there. We have some great Middle Eastern countries there, Israel there. So we did it for a lot of reasons.
I want y'all tell me if those reasons make sense. Tell me if those reasons make sense. As a humanitarian, as I'm America first. And again, like I told y'all right now, I'm America only out this bitch. That I can only afford to focus on America right now. You guys. And it's not a diss to other people. Asian Americans, and I'm just saying in the sense of our tax dollars and resources. I got to put that towards classes, infrastructure, all of these different things, right? I'm America first. The attack on the Second Amendment is clear. I'm America first and America only right now, outside of just good trade and good business. That being the case, those are the reasons why our commander-in-chief, me too. I'm not one of them leftists, not my president. That's the president of the United States. That is the commander-in-chief. He has chief decision-making process and commanded the armed forces to make a decision. And those are his reasons for saying why we're there. Does that make sense? And is that justified to you? Those American soldiers that they will not give you a clear number on, which is a horrible indication. When they don't tell you how many casualties it is, it's 10 times more than what the fuck you said or thought or what they said. So those American soldiers that died did it because we got some homies over there. You know what I'm saying? We did it out of habit. It's not a good thing to do. The billions of dollars over the last 16 days that could have been going to the budget, what happened to Doge cuts? He didn't say, there was an imminent threat to American life and American interests. It's not what he said. That's what he said. Without Maj, you just a libertarian. You just don't understand how the world works. You just too principled. Christian faith is based on principle. Sorry if I'm just too much of a Christian, I suppose. Jewish faith is based on principles. My Jewish friends, before they get out of the bed, they supposed to wash their hands and face in the joint that's by their bed. They pray a lot. Those are principles. My Muslim friends that pray 5 times a day, that are right now dealing with their holy month, those things are based on principles. But somehow principles fuck principles, I guess. I guess we too much of patriots and actual solution-based people, I suppose. And that's why we have to create more of them. So, guys, I'm going to ask everybody, if you got something from the show tonight, please, guys, givesendgo.com/solutionary. Huge shouts to everybody tapping in. Will, thank you for that donation. Let's get everybody watching the show tonight. If you're watching this, most of you are watching this on X, hit the pinned post. It's right up there. givesendgo.com/solutionary. Every donor at the $100 level. We need like 90 more. Let's do the math. You're here, right? That's how much we've raised, how much we have left to go. Okay? If one of y'all that's watching is just dumb wealthy that wants to donate the whole remaining $19,000, be awesome. Do that. I'm putting that energy out there. That would be awesome. Our largest donor ever has been $10,000. That stuck at $10,000. It's been a few people that have given $10,000. Somebody is rich. Somebody break that at $19,000. All right. It really, really would be awesome. givesendgo.com/solutionary. We talk about these things, whether it's pop culture, politics, all of these things on the show Monday through Friday. Again, I haven't promoted it. You guys just happen to see it. So please subscribe to the channel, share it all over the place. You help us spread the message by just doing a quick repost and subscribing to the channel. We close to, I think we may be 1,200 subscribers away from 40,000. This year, I want to get this YouTube channel up to 100,000 subscribers. I am officially a content creator and a YouTuber, right? I've put my time in. We're going to continue to do the work at the Solutionary Center. We're going to continue to make sure that we're training more and more students and things of that nature. But I'm going to be more visible in this space with politics and pop culture and all of that, tying it back into solutions for you all, because that's the skill set that I have. And I think we can change the world for the better if I use my superpowers for good and not evil. So, guys, we need your help. givesendgo.com/solutionary. There's about 200 of y'all watching right now. If 200 people give, man, imagine if 200 people gave $100. That would be awesome, right? But if you don't, guys, Will Voss was the last one. Brad Harris gave before that. Let's get 10 people to give it the $100 level. That's $1,000, right? Everybody that gives the $100 level, you get to become the type of person that is well-versed on civics, that has the capability of defending life, that has the ability to stop the bleed, that understands your rights. These are video modules, classes, and curriculums that you get lifetime access to for being a donor, paying it forward for others, and being a donor at Solutionary University and all students, getting those firearms classes free to all. givesendgo.com/solutionary. I want to thank you all for tapping in tonight. I'm going to see you all in the DMs, in the inbox. If y'all got questions, just shoot me an email or inbox me on X. If y'all are watching on X, like, again, a lot of y'all are, just shoot me a DM. I'm going to engage you guys for the next hour and a half until midnight. I got to be at the gym at 4 in the morning, so I appreciate you all getting in there so I can, go back and forth with you, because it is valuable. We have to break this ideology that people that are doing good things in the communities that have become a certain level of popular, we got to break this thing that you're not supposed to engage them. I'm going to break that by engaging you all, and you guys are going to break that by engaging and supporting the work. They say Americans won't work together. Americans are too divided. America's too racist. They say a whole bunch of shit. And you guys supporting our work, knowing that we're doing it mostly in leftist cities to fix those places, is you breaking that narrative. And you get something, especially every donor over the $100 level, you get something for being that person. And we want everybody to do that. So again, guys, givesendgo.com/solutionary. Everybody that gives over the $25 level, I'm going to give you a free class. But we want everybody to try to be a $100 donor. But give whatever you can. Thanks again, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow outside of the people that I'm going to be chopping it up with in the DMs for the next hour and a half. Appreciate you all. Share the space all over the place. Subscribe to the channel and donate at givesendgo.com/solutionary. Thanks, y'all. See y'all tomorrow. Be safe. Be solutionary.